Hello, welcome to a ladder game against Mark Lark. Let's take a look at what we've got here. Practice lets us play an action card from our hand twice, which could be nice with some stuff, like Amulet, for example. Harsh Winter lets us take on a lot of debt, which is kind of annoying. 5-2 is somewhat awkward. It's not clear to me that I want +2. It's not clear to me that I want any of the fives. Do I just take Tea House Candlestick Maker? Build up to an artist engine. That seems like the thing to do. And then we'll get an Amulet in our second shuffle. Scheming an artist seems good. Like scheme, artist. Engine. So I want to get some Nomads for plus buy. Probably don't need a Raider. And Harsh Winter somewhat should make the engine worse, probably, I would think. Like, because you want to gain more cards, whereas the non-gaining engine doesn't want to gain that many more cards. But I think there's a lot of building we can do, and a lot of thinning we can do, and so I'm pretty happy to do this here. There's like a world where we already get an artist. We're gonna have 6 coins. I can practice. Practice doesn't give me a plus buy though. So for 5, I think I'm just taking a Nomads. We have 2 terminals in the deck. It's a good terminal to have. Gives me plus buy, so I can start to add 2 things. Here I should be able to play Candlestick Maker, Copper, and then practice an Amulet to double trash. And feel like we're getting quite thin here. That seems like a good use of practice with Amulet. And again, we just trash. So we do want a Candlestick Maker at some point. We have Nomads and Amulet. I wonder if we already take an artist here. Like we take Crossroads, we take artist. Our opponent is taking 2 Crossroads. That seems like a lot. And we have a couple different ways we can pay off debt for the artist in terms of Tea House, Amulet can gain silvers. Maybe that artist was too soon. I'm not sure. It's very strong when we can draw it when we draw our other stuff. Oh, it'll be nice with the Amulet as well. Because the Amulet is in play. And this turn it should be able to draw like 5 or 6, like 5 cards, I think, which is really cool. And then we can start adding more payload into the deck. Scheme, Smithy. Okay. Excellent. So we're out of debt. We have 8 money. We're going to finish trashing next turn. I don't think we need another Candlestick Maker. Tea House seems like very good payload. Scheme also seems very good for just top decking the artist every turn. So like Tea House, Scheme. And at some point we'll need to add ourselves a Smithy. Probably. But artist maybe is just enough draw that we don't need the Smithy. Okay, we didn't quite find the artist, but that's okay. We'll have it next turn. So this could just be another scheme, like scheme artist. Is that too aggressive? I think that's fine. And then we'll scheme a Tea House. I kind of wish there were more cantrips, more non-terminal actions. But it's what it is. Oh, we do have the Amulet in play. So there's some argument to having 2 Amulets, so you always have 1 in play for your artist activation. We would not buy an Amulet this turn, though, because we did buy 1. That would have been last turn, would have been the turn to buy 1. And they have gotten a Tea House and put debt on there. So now there's this question of when we're buying from piles, how much debt are we willing to take on? Okay, we've kind of overdrawn here, which is fine. Debt, so we have 2 money, up to 4 money. I decided we didn't need an amulet. I was gonna take a farmer's market here. We do have enough actions with the crossroads. We're top decking like a tea house and a artist every turn. So we should be able to draw through, and the next turn we'll pick up an amulet as well and not be in so much debt. Artist and scheme. So we always have a couple of cantrips atop the deck, so we can guarantee to draw with our amulet. This turn we'll pick up an amulet and something else, probably. At worst, the amulet's just plus coin. Perhaps we also pick up another farmer's market. Then, Crossroads plus 3 actions. We play 4 terminals, which will be farmer's market. I can gain a silver here and draw it. It is probably worth it. I feel like my deck is strong enough to make use of this stuff. Yeah, so we played an amulet this turn, so we wanted to gain 1 more amulet. Amulet, Nomads, Farmer's Market would be our 3 terminals. So maybe I don't need 1. It's going to trash itself, but, what other cards are there that I want to add to the deck? Amulet and gold. There's even some argument maybe for Raider. It's like a gold that you can play every other turn just as a unique, but I feel like I'm drawing well enough with the double amulet. So like amulet, gold, and then look to start greening next turn. And we're always top decking, I think, Tea House and Artist. And sort of waiting to see what our opponent gains to try to avoid the debt stuff. Yeah, they've added 2 crossroads. It's not the second crossroads doesn't let them play it. Doesn't do anything. The first crossroads lets them play a Smithy, which is nice. Here I think I'll probably gain a silver. I still have 2 more coppers to trash. That I should be able to get trashed 1 this turn and 1 next turn. We'll sort of see what they buy. Candlestick Maker is somewhat innocuous with the artist stuff, but it does not draw, and I'm top decking an artist every turn, so I feel like now is as good as any of a time to start with the greening. Okay, so Crossroads, Nomads, Artist, Tea House. So I can here if I really want gain a silver and draw it, but I'm pretty happy to just trash here. Yeah, I guess I only want to take 1 province because of the situation with what am I saying? Because of the situation with debt, if I take double province, I take on 2 debt, which I don't really want to do. So I could just go like Province Raider and build up somewhat slowly with the extra schemes, see what they buy, and then mirror them. Raider just giving me an extra card for reliability with the artists. And then I don't know. It just seems like I'm in a good enough shape for double province. So again, we're top decking a Tea House and an artist. Is there a world where we want to top deck 2 artists? Maybe. I think with 1 terminal, 1 duration in play, the first artist draws 2, and the second artist would draw 2. The second artist would only draw 1 if I don't draw another unique, whereas Tea House artist, the second artist draws 3, so it should be sufficient there. My opponent does have the extra farmer's market, which is a little annoying in terms of the VP, but we'll see. I feel like my deck should be quite a bit more reliable than theirs. And they did get the VP this turn from that. Yeah, interesting. So somehow I'm just a touch behind, perhaps. I will take a coin here. Artist draws, scheme. This is the best artist is going to do. Wow, the bottom 2 cards are Farmer's Market and Crossroads. Surely I'm playing this Amulet. Play all treasures, pay the debt. And I guess I play Province Duchy by Province Duchy here. And we'll scheme a tea house and an artist. And again, if my opponent bottom decks their Smithy, it's somewhat tough for them to draw their deck. They only have the one artist. The Crossroads should start to do a lot better though with the ability of having all those extra green cards in deck. I have 4 green cards in deck now. It looks like my opponent just had a fairly big dud here. They just gain a gold. So I think we take a silver here and try to double. I feel like we're pretty well on our way to doubling with this draw scheme. I think I'm going to play this first artist to try to find some green cards. I have a lot of green cards in this deck. I found one. The tea house, play the Crossroads scheme. Okay, we did not find our stuff. We have an artist down there and a Nomads, it looks like. So that's useful to note. There's a world where I practice the farmer's market. I gotta pay attention to that. I don't really want to take the debt off the province pile. So I think I will just buy double duchy here and save my coffers. Or I actually lose 2 coffers. Okay, so we're scheming a tea house, and we're scheming the other artist. We also did not get our amulet in play that turn. Oh, and we had another tea house. So it was a really... No, we must have drawn that. No, we top decked that tea house. So our bottom 3 were artist, amulet, nomads, which seems quite unlucky. My opponent had a pretty unlucky turn 13, though. Just the draw order, like the Crossroads was right above some of the green. So if like the scheme had come up first and then I'd drawn the schemed another green, then I probably can draw my deck. Looks like my opponent has started to also have some duds. Practice Candlestick Maker is kind of wild to save money for next turn, but it costs 3 and you get 1 extra coffer. I'm not really understanding the purpose of that play. I don't think they're in a position to triple. Play the tea house first, then we play the artist, play the other artist. Yikes, and I don't have any, I do not have any, I can trash this for 2 money, or I can practice it netting me 1 money. But I do not have any artists in that pile. Practice, yeah, so I practice Nomads twice, gets me to 8, and I think I just buy a province and say my amount of money is so high. I have a 17 VP lead, so I feel like I should be in good shape here. Yeah, the artist draw got worse a lot very quickly. Maybe I took too many silvers. I should have focused on a little more payload. And I'll take a coin here, which should get me to pay the debt, buy a province, and turn, and we'll top deck the tea house. And I do have some green cards down here, so this I should be able to draw some cards with this Crossroad, which I knew I had bottom decked. And yeah, I don't really see how my opponent gets 17 points, especially without doing some kind of farmer's market thing. This is a turn potentially I could play practice for farmer's market, so I would get 3 coins. Instead of getting 3 coins, I would get 3 coins and 4 VP tokens. Looks like they're just conceding the game here, though. So yeah, that'll be a win. I don't think I used Artist to its full extent, but I think this is a good example of how one can use Artist and some of the interesting strategery of Harsh Winter.